Hi buddy, welcome back. Cids Modded Life, episode 126 with me, Cid. And I'm still over here in Alexandria, where you'll notice a distinct lack of crates behind me. That is because this thing that we built last time has done its work. I now have quite a lot more Infinity books. I have a full stack of flame books. We have a lot more punch books, and in fact punch 1 is now stuffed, and we've now completed these, and we've moved around to this side, and we've almost used all the books. So that's a thing. However, I thought we'd start off this episode, seeing as the last time I did comments was 116, so I'm not going to sit there. That's too noisy. So comments, yeah, 126. Anyway, Les D. Mark says, "Surely you can't be serious." I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Reference to me, I believe, saying "Surely you can't be serious," and probably one of the greatest comedic lines of all time from, of course, the Aeroplane movies, and I believe it was used often in Police Squad as well. So it's a very common joke, obvious joke, but it's an absolute brilliant, genius one, and it just had to start with that. +1 for the Pirate Cove. It hasn't been overdone yet. Well, probably has been overdone, but that's true. But also keep it with the good work. It's refreshing to see modern Minecraft videos made for an older audience. I don't really have much choice, to be honest. I can't run around screaming like an idiot. And that was from Dr. Zoidberg 707. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry, I love Futurama as well. Long story short, TLDR, Stoner Temperance for the Terror Tools, very useful. Yes, I think we definitely need to sort that one out. I don't know if you looked at the mod. Unlimited Chisel works, but it adds chisel support for all sorts of woods, including forestry and nature from Jane there. Definitely a candidate for the 112 upgrade. You're asking for solutions to get the carrots grown in the pigsty and other animal pens. In the last video, I suggest placing a rustic apiary near them and turning off the option for the crops getting destroyed. That was Catherine. I mentioned in the comments about this one, I don't want to turn off the option about the crops being destroyed, because I think that is kind of circumventing the intent of the mod. So nice idea. I would like to prefer to try and come up with a way to work around it. At the moment, it's not desperate, so be no biggie. Good to see things moving forward. While I understand the concerns that other commenters have, the series has also become an interesting side discussion on the changing state of modern Minecraft, Minecraft modding, from TS Kimball. As it will probably always be. I have fairly strong opinions about modern Minecraft and Minecraft modding and the Minecraft development, and obviously, you know, if you've watched me for any time, those opinions are unlikely to change anytime soon. This episode entered rather abruptly. This is in reference to 122 from Therax. Yes, that was a cock-up on my part. I missed a segment of my recorded commentary out at the end. It can happen. It's rare that I make gaffes like that, but I do sometimes. Unfortunately, I don't keep the raw video recordings after once I've rendered them. Usually do a quick check through, a very quick skip through the video, make sure the audio plays all the way through, just common sense stuff. Upload it. I obviously have to delete the raw material. It's trying to think. On average, I use about 120 gigabytes of storage for the raw recording, and I can have anywhere upwards of 3 or 4 episodes recorded at any one time. So do the math. You know, discs. I've got a lot of discs in this machine. I think I've got 7 drives in here, but you know, it's finite, so I have to do that, and that happens. In the time it took you to set up and make the double crusher, you could probably have just chuck the stuff in the IE crusher lot from Ikuro Fuma. Yes, you're probably right, but it gives me an option. The one thing with the crusher is that it feeds directly into the furnace system, and obviously I don't want to furnish the quartz, so it kind of swings and roundabouts really. And this was also from Akira Fuma. The names dropped off the bottom there. As much as I'd like to see you keep everything you've done at this point, I think it would be better to start again from scratch. Now, I put this right at the end for a reason. Because first off, let's answer that one. Not going to happen. Not unless there's absolutely zero choice whatsoever. When I started the Cids Modded Life series, the intention was quite simply to make sure, I realise I'm stood still just staring at a book, to go with the kind of ethos world where we keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and building out and expanding and building out and just doing more and more and staying with it, and hopefully getting an episode series which can be many hundreds of episodes long. Now, it may not be possible, I have to admit that, but that's my drive. So continuing on from there, but it does bring me on with new mods and see how that goes. There's some really interesting things in 1.12 that we're worth looking at. There's a whole load of interesting things in 1.12, and I've deliberately not updated the mod pack significantly in 1.10 because I wanted to move it forward in 1.11 or 1.12 as it's going to be now. Which brings me to my request to you guys. If there are any mods that I may or may not be aware of, bear in mind I may have seen quite a few mods, but if there's anything you think would be a good mod in the pack, let me know, because it's amazing the number of mods you can find that you just don't realise are actually there. Hello. And it's, you know, it's something that I'm only too well aware of from doing mod spotlights and stuff. You know, I'm constantly searching curse, and out of the blue things will just appear that I didn't even know were a thing. And it's like, really? That was a thing? Good God, where did that hide away all this time? So that is useful to me if you think of anything that might be things that, I mean, things like Astral Sorcery I'm aware of. I'll probably go with that. There's, you know, there's a lot of mods going on out there that are potentially very, very useful. But right now, I'm just concentrating on things. Oh, we've got some stuffs and things. Anyway, this thing is happy and doing its work. So this episode, now let me go back a step back, because we're looking at 1.12. I actually need to pick up some stuff while I'm thinking about this, though. In fact, I probably should sleep. If I knew what I'd done with my sleeping bag. I'm fairly certain I not put it, yeah, I kept it there. This sleeping bag will be going in the next version in favour of comforts, but for the time being I don't have a sleeping bag, so that's what we'll use. And we're going to take our book and we're going to jump over to the farm, and it may take a moment to load because there's a lot of stuff over here. Alright. Come on. Loading. It's odd really, because this entire area should be chunk loaded, so who knows what's going on here. Come on. Hey, I think. Oh, right, finally. Glad. So nice of you to catch us up there. Anyway, yeah, this area should be chunk loaded. I actually did want to have a look at that because I don't think we need to worry too much about this anymore. I think that doesn't need to be loaded. Don't know why I've got that claimed and not loaded, but it doesn't really matter. Because we're not piping the spuds over, we're piping them directly in, and obviously this is doing whatever it's doing. Not a lot actually. Yeah, well, what did I come over here for again? I came over here for a reason. You cannot think what it was. Oh, no. I was going to look at some, oh man. My head, if I came over here for something. Came over here to have a look at this. That's what I came over to. Yeah, that's actually full. Shouldn't be a major problem. I don't know why I didn't need to come over here. I just didn't. I don't even need to walk in here. I just needed to do that. Anyway, let us get that away, and we're going to get some dark oak because we've got a reasonable amount of that, and we're going to get some andesite because we've got a reasonable amount of that. We'll also take those and those, and that, and that, and a bit more of not that, but that. That should do us for now. And we're going to head off this way. So, regarding 112 update, I am not heading headlong rushing into it like, you know, helter skelter into the 112 update. The 112 update is going to be a thing which is going to take a certain amount of time. And as such, right, what do I need to do here then? We need to, okay. So this is going to go, that from this point here should always be 2 down. Like so. And I probably should have just brought some crap for filling in, but that's fine, this will do. And we'll get these things. So I don't want to rush headlong into doing this update. I don't want to be like, oh, let's get the update done at all costs. You know, there's no opportunity. We need to do it now. Blah blah blah. If we don't do it now, it's not going to happen. Blah blah blah. Whatever. That is not a concern. This will take as long as it takes, and I'm not going to rush it. We're going to make sure that everything works. We're going to be happy with everything working, and we are going to get some chisels and bits out. We're going to be probably aiming roughly to be updating over and or around Christmas, or over the Christmas break time, if I can manage it all. That would be my ideal scenario, because because with the best will in the world, if I have to rush it, mistakes will be made, undo, and well, that's fine. Yeah, mistakes will be made, and we will end up with a situation that is just not ideal. There we go. You would never believe there were rabbits above that, would you? So that's the aim, which gives us a little bit of time for everybody to get the raw in and suggest mods and things, which is also a reasonable aim. But so with that in mind, I need to take all of these out, don't I? Every 2. I'm going to be doing a little bit of, well, there's a few jobs around the place I want to continue working on and just getting caught up on, and things, little outstanding bits, like this tunnel, for example. And when we get down and we've done this bit of the tunnel, and we've filled this in and corrected all this and done this bit down here, and obviously integrated all of this around here, and maybe started looking at going off that route and everything around here. Well, around here I said I wanted to do something with this cave system. Now this is a pretty good opportunity to start integrating that, because I don't want to get tied up in too much mega build infrastructure-y stuff. I just want to be able to pootle along, just pootle, and it's a lovely word, pootle. It suggests a certain amount of laziness, almost, just ambling. Now, those of you who are fortunate to live in the countryside or in a more rural area and be of a how do I put it, of a comparable age to this wrinkly old git that you're currently listening to, may remember a time when we, especially if you, this will have definitely strike resonance with more amongst my British English viewers, I think. Although I could be wrong, you know, I'm not, I'm no expert on what kind of memories and society and ruralization and rural generalizations we have in the ex-colonies. Sorry, the America and places. I'll call them ex-colonies. You get really stressed about that, don't you? But I remember many years ago, when you're growing up in the country, having this amazing memories of summer days. Now, I don't just mean summer. I mean, you know, the summers that we had as kids, the summers where everything was just absolutely magical. You know, hot weather, and the imagery and the mental imagery in my head right now is of at that time where you got a lane, a rural lane, and the rural lane, you know, it's got like bushes down the side, and you're walking down, the sun's so hot and you're just beating off you, and the air just doesn't want to move. There's not a breeze. Now, if this is striking a resonance, and welcome to the days that I remember, because, you know, you could hear the bees buzzing in the blossom around in the hedgerows, and those quiet rural days were absolutely magical. And I can't remember actually having a summer like that for such a long time. Now, this is the question. This is a thought, if you like, thought for the day. Do we think that those summers, that period that I recollect so fondly, was actually a product of not my imagination, because that obviously is clearly not my imagination, but it clearly existed. But I'm wondering whether it was a product of the age we grew up in, the age. You see, this seems wrong somehow, and I don't know how. Let me bring. Oh God, let me go and fill this in. That's probably the first and most important bit. Let's just get this out of the way, done, and so we don't have to worry about anything up here spawning in and just generally making our lives kind of, you know, yucky and unpleasant. And but there's a certain innocence to that time, and almost an innocence of youth, which I sometimes wonder whether it was actually an innocence of youth, and whether it's something that we can't get back, because it kind of belonged not just to the time, but it was also the place and the social life that, you know, the existence we had back then. And this is, I don't want this to sound like it was so, you know, I remember when I was a lad it was so much better than it is today, because it wasn't. Today's just as good, if not better in many respects. I think there are pressures in modern society which we didn't have then, but you know, we had different pressures, different ideas. But I don't honestly recall, for example, having my parents constantly obsessing about strangers. I mean, you were taught not to talk to strangers, but it wasn't quite with the same evangelical zeal that you tend to find now. And I don't know whether it's just a sad loss or or whether I'm remembering things better than they were. Now, obviously, people my age may go, "Oh no, you're absolutely right. You know, this was a magical time, or was a wonderful time, and or the best time," and then other people might be going, "What the hell are you talking about, Sid? Why are you even having this conversation?" kind of response. And if you are that person, that's fine, because my memories are not your memories. My fondness, people often say, and you'll hear it said, that your school days are your best days of your life, and I think my school days were very good days of my life. I look back with school with a degree of fondness, not probably a huge amount of fondness, but there was elements of that I think were better than we probably gave them credit for at the time. But I also think there were elements of that were, how the hell do I want to do this? Sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud as well here. See, I could do, let me have a look. We're going to take those out anyway, that's for definite. Yeah, it's just this vision, this mental image of hot summer days, and I just wondered whether it was just me, or whether other people have that same fondness of recollection. Now, we could just do this and keep it simple. This is entirely possible. And I don't think, this is quite a long corridor. I don't think we want to get too fancy down here, but do we also want to be, too stingy with the with the effects? I completely forgot where I was going with that conversation as well, which doesn't help. I do realise I can ramble, but I didn't realise I was quite that rambly. Or maybe I did. Maybe I've always known I was that rambly. Let's have a look. What do we think? I mean, it would be... because this always goes to this middle slab here, I've got an idea, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'll run down I'll maybe run all the way to the bottom. Why not? And I'll be back in a mo, and I'll try and remember what the hell I was talking about as well, because that's always handy. Honestly, I'm not hungover at this point. I've just done my second beer, so there we go. Back in a bit. Alright, so I'm just chiseling out, and of course what happens is we hit an issue. So we need a connected plane. There and there and there. There and there. There and there and there. So that should sort that particular issue out, and we can continue on. So the next one comes out here, and all I'm doing is just putting a little teeny weeny bit of three-dimensionality into this otherwise large flat wall. It's by no means a work of art, but it works. When we turn around in a moment, you'll see that the corridor definitely looks a little less big expanses of flatness. However, there is a little bit of other stuff I would like to do. I'm going to grab some of that, and what we're going to do is we are going to come over here, and then we're going to grab that, and we are going to just periodically in places, and it's not always going to be in one of the recesses, but we're just going to add teeny, helps if you have more of that, of course, a teeny bit of green, and that just helps break up the monotony of the colour because this is very grey. I mean, it's brown and grey, but you can't really say much more than that. It is brown and grey. Let me have a look what we got in the way of leaf blocks. We should have some oak leaf blocks. Let me just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 should be plenty, and then we'll just go with this backpack. As soon as Iron Backpacks upgrades, that is getting replaced. Now I know it's in 112. I may just go with it anyway. It's this backpack is annoying with a capital An and a most definitely ing, and maybe an oi as well, just for good measure. Yeah, it's not good. It has this auto supply function. I haven't figured out how to turn it off yet. Before I get annoyed about it, I should probably in fact, yeah, let's auto load from inventory or chest. Escape. Edit the backpack's auto loader. There, no, there, maybe there. Apostrophe. Open the backpack is B. We're happy with that. Open permission interface. Well, I suppose we can leave that. Pause, resume auto loader. I wonder whether that's the beastie then. No. Let's leave that as pause. Let me just try something here then. No. I can't remember what I've done now. Options, controls, B or apostrophe. Here we go. Don't resupply. Don't resupply. Don't resupply. Oh, man. Can we have remove? Types, don't any. This is confusing as hell. Main backpack. Black backpack. This is somewhat confusing. Filter. I just don't want you to do any of that. Oh, I don't know. Escape. You know what? I think that's overkill for what we need. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a very, very good and powerful mod, but I think it's overkill. Anyway, let's just go and finish off. Now, we're not going to get that much done this episode because I spent far too much time yakking at the start and not enough time actually doing anything. But we can still get... Well, that was obviously something different, doesn't matter. You know, we can just get these in, and as I say, it just adds a little splash of colour to an otherwise bland grey surface. And it doesn't really take that much either. Now these I could go one stage further, because we could take this right down and actually have that as a, you know, it doesn't really matter how we could do that quite easily, for example. You know, these are, there is no right or wrong answer, and consequently just go to town. But that just adds a little bit of colour. It just changes up the otherwise bland surface there. Right, let me put some of this away. Don't remember chiseling any of that, but oh, I know where that came from. Yes, I'm with it now, with the program. So the other thing I want to do, apart from, so we got down to the corridor here. Now this area down here, I want to seriously, I want to bring the corridor down, but at about this point here, I want to actually bring this out into a large cavern, and I want to make a cavern area that we travel through, an underground forested cavern. Now this is going to come down so far. This is not going to be the entrance into the vault. The vault is going to do something else, but I just needed to work out how this was going to connect. This is probably going to come down and then expand out, and then there'll be something else going on around here as well. So that's a thing. And then obviously we've got this fairly extensive cave system, which if I whack this on, you can see we have got illumination issues all over the place. There's a zombie somewhere about taking an interest in our presence in his caves already. But all of this is fixable. It doesn't take a great deal, and then we can obviously, once we've got this to a point where we are spawn safe, that's not, that is actually, that isn't, but that was. We can start bringing it and actually using some of the cave system that we have up here. I've got no idea where that's come from. How very bizarre. This is right up at the floor level where and then we kind of went off down this way and we got all of that going on. That's fine. But how very bizarre that was. And now I'm lost for good measure. I mean, I can't get that lost. I've got a massive great honking wall in the middle of it. He's over this way. Ah, you down. Hi. Oh, hello. Bye-bye. Oh, I see. Yeah, so we've obviously got some work to do around the area. To make this place safer than it actually currently is. What was on that anyway? Unbreaking 2. Actually, probably that's something I don't have a lot of books of for a change. Don't think there's anything that way. No. But again, this is an area that needs expanding, cleaning, refining. Skeleton around here somewhere, I've heard. I hear it. I just can't see it. Hello? Where are you? And most of this area is going to be easy to light up as well. It's not going to take too much effort. A fair few torches, almost certainly, but effort probably not. He says as he finds a bit more and more dark areas in places where I've been some considerable time ago. Hup, no, hup. I see. That level of hupping. was required. The wrong hub. Yeah, there's definitely work to be done, but this is a huge old cave, which I think we've kind of, as I say, we've explored this thoroughly before, just not lit it up thoroughly, for which I am ashamed. I am ashamed in my lighting up. See, that's fine. Well, I suppose if we know it's covered, then we know it's covered, don't we? And then that's fine over there, and there's a bit there that we missed. And then we're back to here, which is the edge of the slime farm, and obviously we've got all sorts of fun and games down here. Zombie, hello, hey. But again, these are all things we can actually deal with, and they're not even really that dependent on being on the mods. They are dependent on us just going around and doing the work, getting this into a state where we can be reasonably happy that, you know, we're dealing with an environment that is largely checked out and made. Again, I know nothing can spawn there, but if I see red and stab a torch on it, then I know that we've covered it. Yep, and then we're into here for good measure with a chicken. Of course, everybody knows that chickens spawn in mine shafts. Okay, so I'm running out of torches at this rate. There is. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. We'll just deal with this first. Oh, hello, steadfast drone. Some stuff. Oh, torches handy. Golden apple. A bit more of that. We'll have you, and carry on. So, in terms of what we've got to do, we've got quite a lot of potential oh damn, this is going to be a problem, isn't it? Yeah, that I didn't think of. The downside to using an axe as a weapon is you can't cut webs. Which probably means it would be a good idea to leave this until I reevaluate my weapon strategy and get myself. Yeah, there's spoder spawners everywhere down here, so it's probably time to make our exit, make a bit our goodbyes. We're getting close to time on the. Oh no, you don't. Oh yes, you do. Okay. From a ranged little bugger. Oh well, we'll live. He's not going to kill. Ah, hello. Oh, and a spawner shard, always handy. Anyway, let me teleport us back home, and we will finish up this episode in the relative safety of our home, where we can put some of our stuff away, our ill-gotten gains. That can be disenchanted later. This lot can go away for now. Yeah, that'll do us. So yeah, plans going forward we've got. Let me know what you think. As I say, I don't get too worried about the mods we're adding or mods we're not adding or what we're doing. The overwhelming drive of this is going to be to build a pack which supports what we're doing, not a bunch of mods that we're just going to do for the fact that we have to do the mods. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I think we'll have a. There we go, lovely. and I will see you soon. And bye for now.